Divorce can be one of the hardest things that you have to go through. There's a lot of uncertainty, but it doesn't have to be that way. There's things like, what am I going to do with my house? What am I going to do with my money? What am I going to do with my kids? In today's video, I am going to show you how to take control of your divorce so it doesn't have to be so overwhelming, so it doesn't have to be so scary, and that you're going to feel like you have some control. So you're probably asking yourself, what's the first thing I need to do? There's a lot you need to do, but let's break it down so that it's easy to manage and it's not going to be overwhelming and you're going to be able to do it. So one of the first things you need to decide is who's going to stay in the house. Are you going to kick his sorry ass out or are you going to stay? My advice to you is whoever is going to be the primary caregiver should stay in the house, because after all, this is a very challenging time for everybody. And if there's children, you want to keep them in their normal routine because this is going to be challenging on everybody. The next thing you need to do is you got to find a lawyer. Now look, the advice I can give you is you have to go through a couple of lawyers. You need to do some interviews. And listen, you can't be worried about hurting their feelings, because if you don't get along with them, if you don't get that vibe that you're vibing with them, because you have to have total trust in who is going to be handling your divorce, because after all, they are going to determine the outcome of your future. I have a list of questions that you can take with you so that you know what to ask your lawyer when it comes to getting a divorce. Now, the next thing you need to do, and this is often the hard part because people don't want to admit that, one, they don't know where their finances stand, and two, they don't want to know where their finances stand. So what you need to do is you need to gather up all your statements. So that would be your bank statements, your credit card statements, your mortgage statements, all those statements. And you need to make a comprehensive list. Listen, it doesn't have to be fancy. Just write it down on paper. I'm a paper and pen kind of gal myself, so I just like to write things down. So you need to make a list of all these debts and how much is owing, what the payments are, and then you need to determine who is going to pay what. It's not just, oh, honey, you're going to pay this bill and I'm going to pay this bill. You need to follow through with that, because what's going to happen is, because especially if it's a joint debt, if your ex decides to not pay that bill that he's agreed to pay, scumbag that he is, but he's agreed to pay and he hasn't, the bank, the lender, they're going to come after you because it's a joint thing. So gone is the trust. I mean, you're getting a divorce for a reason, right? So you can't just say, oh, he's going to do it, and I trust him, Forget about that. You have to handle this like a business. Okay, so now you've determined who's paying what. You have to make sure that your name gets taken off of that. Now listen, there are so many things you need to do, and I could spend the next 2 hours talking about it. And you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go, oh my God, it's too much, I can't handle it. You're gonna bury your head in your pillow. Maybe you'll go in the fetal position. Maybe you'll have a glass of wine with you. I don't know. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. So what I wanna do is give you an easy step-by-step process, something that is going to give you confidence, something that's going to give you some guidance. So rather than spend the next 2 hours inundating you with information, I wanted to let you know that I have this great program. It's called I Do, I Did, I'm Done. It is comprehensive, really simple, everything you need to know to get the divorce process started, okay? And you're going to feel a million times better, because one of the things I've found is when you are getting out of a situation that you've been in for so long, like your life as you know it is now over. You know, there's two of you, now there's one of you, and there's just so many things. Your head is spinning kind of like Linda Blair. You don't know which way to go. So one of the things is getting control and knowing what your next steps. It's the best advice I can give you, and it's the best way I know to help you navigate this process. I know this can be overwhelming, but listen, I did it. Not once, but twice. No judgment, please. So I've been there. I have done it. I have seen the lowest of the lows. I have been financially devastated. I lost my home. I lost pretty much everything. Life as I knew it. I lost family. I lost friends. I lost my extended family. And it's a lot to process. It's like a death. You're grieving. So when I tell you that you need to do these things, when I tell you you should tune into these resources I have, it's because I've been there. And it's because I know that it's going to help you. Listen, if I can do it, you can do it. I have literally, you know, when people say you hit rock bottom, well, I hit rock bottom and then rock bottom had a bottom. So, I mean, it was a battle. And look, I'm not going to tell you that it's easy, and I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to cry, and I'm not going to tell you that you're going to swear and you're going to feel like, you know, your life is over. But I am going to tell you that if you do what I tell you, if you follow the steps, if you give yourself a path forward, one day you're going to look in the rearview mirror and you're going to go, holy shit, I did that. And because of that, you're going to be a better person. You're going to be a stronger person. And I can guarantee you, you're going to be a happier person. I'm a newer channel. I'm trying to create this wonderful community, and I'm here for you. Much love.